What's going on, YouTube? Billy Rains here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Smith system, or more specifically, step one, which is aim high. So let's talk about it. So you guys may be asking yourself, Billy, what the heck is the Smith system, right? And I get it. Not every single school teaches the Smith system. I think they probably should, and I think most schools do teach the Smith system. But basically, the Smith system was a driving technique taught by this guy. It was developed by a guy named Harold L. Smith in 1952. He was a Navy veteran. And he basically came up with these 5 principles that are supposed to make you a better driver, right? They're supposed to help you manage space, distance, time, things like this. And just like they're all really to help with your situational awareness and just things to think about while you're driving. I was sitting there thinking about these 5 steps, and I was like, I think that these would make extremely good YouTube videos, right? So to keep the video short, I'm kind of going to break them into 5 different videos. Hopefully you guys don't mind too much. Eventually I'll turn it into a playlist and I'll try to put it up here somewhere. So hopefully you guys are entertained by this. That's a little of what the Smith system is. But thinking about these Smith system principles, there's 5 of them. And I was like, these things, they apply to even more than just driving. A lot of these things apply to just everyday life. And the first one that we're going to talk about is aim high, or aim high in steering. It's the first principle of the Smith system. So anyway, the first principle, which is aim high in steering. Aim high in steering is pretty much just looking far down the road at what's coming up, right? Like it's basically the idea that our eyes are designed for processing information as we walk or move at a slow speed. So our eyes aren't really designed to process information at a rate at which trucks move. So the Smith system teaches you to look out at a distance. It teaches you 15 seconds out. So you may be asking yourself, how would I get an idea of what 15 seconds out is? So basically 15 seconds could mean a lot of things. It's based off your speed at like 20 miles an hour, that may be a block. At 60, it's more like a quarter mile. So basically you just pick something out in the distance and you start counting 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. And as it gets closer, say you pick something and you get up to 9 Mississippi. So try to pick something a little farther. This is like an active thing you can continue to do, and it basically teaches you to look out farther and farther. It basically, you're just trying to get as much information as possible. You're trying to look out far, middle, close, far, middle, close, looking at your mirrors and stuff like that. That is, when it comes to trucking, what aim high means. And if you're looking 15 seconds out, chances are you're not going to be surprised by a lot of things. And you also need to take into account hills, weather, fog, different things like that. Keep all that in consideration. And now we'll kind of like transition the video into more of what I wanted to talk about, which is like how can the Smith system translate into our everyday lives, right? So how would I take aim high? How would I take looking out at a distance? How would I take these things into consideration as a person, right? I got an example. So today, when I get up every morning before I leave the house, I check the weather. Today I checked the weather and it was like 69, 72, something like that. And it said the low for the day was going to be 50 something. So I didn't wear a jacket. And I get up to Dallas and it's a little warmer. It's like 75. I keep a hoodie in the trunk of my truck, but I didn't think to bring it because the weather was nice. Well, I get on the road and I get moving north and I get stuck in traffic and I'm sitting there and I'm sitting there and I'm sitting there. I roll my window down. I've been sitting in traffic for an hour and a half. I roll my window down and the temperature's dropped 30 degrees and I'm like, what happened? I wasn't looking out at a distance, right? I was just looking at things up close. And I do this a lot. And I've been trying to get better about not just checking the weather where I am, but checking the weather where I'm going. Checking the weather in the future. Checking this is just one small example of applying this to your life. So I get stuck up there. Luckily, I super duper plan for the future, and I have a truck. You seen it hanging right here earlier. I have a jacket that the company gave me that I keep on the truck in case of emergencies. And today I needed it because I guess that was like looking even farther than 15 seconds out and just knowing myself and how often I make mistakes and planning for that. You can really do this with a lot of things. I use the example of weather. Maybe check the weather where you are, different points along your drive, maybe where you're going, where you're going to end up at the end of the day. You could also apply to traffic. I mean, if you're coming into Dallas and it's 5:30 or 6, you probably know you're going to hit traffic. So maybe trip plan out like that. Along your trip, look at what time you're planning on going through cities. Maybe try to take them on at night. All these different things. Keep your eyes forward. Keep your eyes down the road. That's the only way to do it. And hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take something kind of boring, kind of important, like the Smith system, which applies to trucking, but then take it and apply it to real life, and maybe we can learn lessons from this stuff. And this is what I've been doing. I've been meditating on these kinds of things, and hopefully I can make these videos every week. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully you guys appreciate the information. Let me know an example of either on the road or in life, looking out at a distance, trying to do that, right? But that's going to do it for this video, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I will catch each and every one of you in the next one, probably next week. We're going to go over number 2, keeping the big picture. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.